And welcome back. In this video, we are going to start entering in some budget income and budget expenses or bills, purchases, however you want to look at it. It's all the same thing. All right, so a few notes to take on here before we get started is to let you know these are customizable. You can name them anything you like. You can start in any month that you want. You don't have to go all the way back to January if you're starting this in the middle of the year somewhere. You just start wherever you're at. This spreadsheet will carry whatever you tell it forward. It won't change anything backwards. So anything in the past, it doesn't make a difference anymore. It's in the past, and that's kind of how this spreadsheet sees it too. So the past is the past. Whatever you enter now will be carried forward, so you can enter anywhere you like. So just to show you what I mean, like under income, and again, these are customizable, but these are also customizable. So I'll show you more of that here in just a minute. So for now, let's say income. Let's say I have a day job, and I'm just going to type day job. You type anything you want here. And say in this day job, I get paid $526.78 per week. Let's say that. All right, now this column here, if you do get paid weekly, or if there is a bill down here that you pay weekly, this is the column where you want to put an X in it. See where it says up here, X weekly or number of payments. So what that means is if it's a weekly thing, then you put an X there. If it's, say it's 2 times a month, then you'll put a 2 there. If it's 1 time a month, you can put a 1 there. You don't have to, but you can put a 1 there. But so we're going to do X here. And when I put that X there, you'll see that this is putting my weekly amount across every week over here in my budget area. And this area over here, I guess I haven't explained to you yet, but this area over here is the part where you'll enter in your actual numbers, where you'll update these. So, for instance, if I get a check and it wasn't $526.78, but instead it was $531.25, then I can change that right there. And that's how that is. And I want to show you that once I put that there, if I go to August, it automatically spreads it across August too. And if you notice, it also puts it under whatever weeks. If I have 4 weeks in that month, that's all that it'll spread it across as 4 weeks. And if I have a 5-week month, then it'll spread it across the 5 weeks. Okay? So let's go back. Let's enter in a couple more just to have some information in here. So let's say we have a side hustle. All right, we put in our side hustle and say that it gives us $100 each month. So since it gives us $100 each month, and say this side hustle pays us on the 23rd of each month. So right here where it says date, you'll put 23. And that will plug that $100 in wherever the date falls for the 23rd. And it's going to do that for each month. See, if you go here to August, it plugs it in on 23rd. If you go here to September, it plugs it in on the 23rd. Okay? Now, if you don't really know, or if this money comes in at different times, then you can say that it comes in on the 1st. Or if you don't want to account for it before it gets here, you could even say that it comes in on, say, the 28th or something like that. And I say that because you got February, who only has 28 days in the year or whatever, or 28 days in a month. So you could put it toward the end, so that way it will fall on the weeks that has 28 days. And it'll fall like at the end of the month, so that your budget isn't accounting for that before you actually get it. So That's how that works. And just know that you can change it. So say that you put the 28th there, but you actually got the money on the 17th. So let's go into the 17th and we'll put $100 here and we'll delete that 28th. So those changes can be made there. All right, so that's the only two we'll put under income. Let's go down here and fill out a few for expenses. Again, any of these can be changed. Even the headers can be changed. So say we get a, let's just keep everything real simple. And I also want to show you, I also want you to note right up here that it's letting you know how much you are budgeting as far as income and your expenses and what your difference is. So if you start noticing that this is getting to be in the negative, then you know that you're budgeting more than what you're actually coming in for income. All right, so say we have a electricity bill, and let's say that that electricity bill is $275, and say we pay that on the 15th of each month. So we'll just enter in $275 and the 15th, and it automatically shows up over here on the 15th. All right, let's go down and do the water. We're going to stick to the basics. Let's say we spend approximately $35 a month on water, and we got to pay that on the 20th. So that shows up on the 20th. All right, we got our electric, our water. We got to have a cell phone, right? I mean, we can't live without a cell phone. So let's say our cell phone bill is $80, and let's say that it's due on the 7th of each month. So you'll see that that popped up over on the 7th. All right, let's say we go on down a little bit and we have home insurance we have to pay each month, and say home insurance is like $150 and it's due on the 16th of each month. And let's go on down a little bit further, and let's say we have a car payment we've got to pay, and say for that car payment we pay $450 a month, and that's due on the 13th of each month. And then let's say we got a credit card out there we're trying to pay off, and we are paying $75 a month on that, and it's due on the 7th of each month. All right, let's go on down, and say we got a personal loan out there that we're paying on, and we pay $350 a month on that, and say that's due like on the 28th. All right. So let's scroll on down a little bit more, see what we got going on. Say we got a birthday. So we got a nephew coming up this month. You know, we went back onto our birthday tab and looked and like, oh my gosh, we got a birthday to do. And say on that, you're going to spend $20 on your nephew, and his birthday is on the 17th. So you'll put the 17th right there. Now, let's go on down a little further. And let's say you go to church, and each week you give $20 a week. So that's weekly. So we're going to put an X right here for weekly, and that will fill that in for your $20. And it lets you know how much you're doing for that month. Let's go on down further, and let's say you want to budget $150 a week for groceries per week. So let's put $150 there. Let's do an X right there. Now you notice our difference, it keeps going down. We are at $448.90 right now, so we got $448.90 for this month that we've got left that we can pay without it going over budget. All right, let's go on down. Say we got fuel, and we got, you know, really fuel efficient little car, and we don't have to drive a whole way, so we spend about $30 a week on fuel. All right, and then we go on down, and our household stuff, that is maybe mixed up in our grocery bill, so we don't really worry about that. And let's say we get on down here, and right now we're too busy trying to save up for some different stuff, so we're not going to go out and have any fun right now, and we're going to try not to have any expenses. Maybe we'll have expenses later on, but for now, let's maybe do, we know that things happen, so let's budget $15 a week for expenses, just for things that might come up. Okay, so then get down here at sinking funds is our last part, and say we have the vacation coming up, and we really want to save up money for that vacation, and in order to make that vacation happen, we need to save at least $20 a week. So let's do that. All right, so there we go. We got our budget filled out for the month of July, and then all of these amounts that we put in here, if you go to August, it's automatically going to fill in all of these amounts. Now, whenever you go to each month, you want to scroll down through there, and you want to, think, well, is there anything else that needs to be added? Do I need to add anything else? Am I over budget? Do I need to make any changes? See, if you're over budget, you want to be able to make some changes, because you don't have, as you're bringing in more money from somewhere else, you're going to be negative $167.88. So you better think about what kind of changes you need to make. So if you go on down through here, you might realize that, well, one thing that you're going to realize is that let me find it real quick. Sorry for just scrolling up and down like that. All right, see this birthday here? You know what? Doing this video just made me think of something. I think I'm going to go back into the spreadsheet, and I'm going to deactivate where it automatically pulls birthdays from each month. So whenever you actually look at your spreadsheet, it will not do this, because I'm going to take these formulas out, because typically you're not spending the same amount of money on birthdays or anniversaries or Christmas or anything like that. And if you're wanting to save up for those things, you can do that down into the sinking funds. So just to let you know right now, you will not see this. If you put in a birth amount in this section in the spreadsheet, it's not going to pull to the next month, because there's no sense in you having to go and delete that out the next month. So I'm going to fix that. So this part of it, just disregard, because that amount is not going to happen. All right, let's continue on. One good thing about doing these videos is it shows you where you can make improvements. All right, so if we took that birthday out, that shows us we had $147.88. That's negative, so that means that we either need to decide we're not going to do tithing this month, or some of it, or maybe we'll do some tithing and some saving, or you may decide that well, you need to pick up that vacation somewhere else. So if we delete this, that still puts us down to $67.88. So we may need to figure out that we're not going to have no extra expenses, or let's say we've got an extra $50 coming in from somewhere in the month, then we can put that in. So you just kind of want to keep an eye out. That's one good thing about this. Say that's going to come in on the first. That's one good thing about this spreadsheet, is it can show you the areas you're going to be in trouble. So if you see right up here your available cash through the week, it tells you still have enough cash, but you're spending more in that week than what you're bringing in. So this says available cash by week. So that means you have $221 more that you brought in than what you're spending in that week. But in this week, you're spending $123 more than what you're bringing in. On this one, $133 more than what you're bringing in. 76, you're to the good on this one. And and you'll see that on each one of them, and that can help you decide, well, do I need to stop tithing? Do I need to, I don't quite agree with it. If you need to stop tithing, then maybe that's something that you you have to stop for a little while and then maybe pick it back up a little bit later on. Or maybe you decide you need to go out and do a side hustle and get in more money that way. Or maybe you can carpool with someone and be able to save on gas. You just got to think about those different things if you don't have the funds to match what it is that you need to get done. And that's what this spreadsheet is really good for. All right, so once we fill that in, you'll see that each month it's going to fill in automatically, and you'll just go through and make some tweaks. And typically the only tweaks that you really have to make is if you have something that you're paying like every 3 months. So like say you have vehicle insurance. Let's go down to transportation, auto insurance. Say you have vehicle insurance and you pay that, say you pay that every 3 months, and let's say that every 3 months you got to pay $250. Then you'll put that $250 there and you'll put in whatever date it's due on. Let's just say the 14th is when it's due. Then when you put that amount right here for auto insurance in September, if you go to October, go down to transportation, you'll see that that's there. Now let me show you a way to keep that from adding into your calculations when you don't want it to. The thing of it is you need to make sure you are aware that it's not added into your calculations and you need it to be. So on the months that it is truly being paid. So let's go back to September, and you'll see that that $250 is right there. But if I go over here to this $250 and say I typed in $250 and then did like a parentheses and did 3 months, something like that. Now, if you notice that, let me show you this real quick, because you're probably not going to see it here. You just see an error thing there, and that doesn't matter. So let's go back. Let's look at this $250. You see that $250 right here? The easiest way to show you is probably right here under the difference. See, that has $127.88. Now look what happens if I put that $250 and I say like $250 and then do 3 months or something like that. It puts it over here. It shows a value over here. And what that means is that it is not going to calculate it. Right here you'll see that that's no longer negative. That means it took that $250 out because it's not including it in the calculations. And that's a good way to be able to know when you need to make a payment without forgetting about it. So say you pay $250 every 3 months and that payment's due on the 14th every 3 months. So we're in September. So September, let's put this back at $250. I'm sorry, ignore that. Yes, so sorry. So we're going to have that in every 3 months, and you'll see it's going to be in October. It's going to be in all of these. Let's go back down to transportation. See, it's through there, but it's not adding it into calculations. So what you want to do is you want to, on the months that it actually is due, say it's due in September, then you'll come over here where this says $250 3 months, and you'll just change that to $250 so that it will start adding it back in calculations. Right here where it says the budget amount, change that to $250 so that it will put it back in the calculations. I do this to mine because I'm super forgetful, and I've got to have everything in there. And in order for it to be there, but you don't want it to add to the calculations, if you put like words around it, then it kicks it out of those calculations. But whenever you do that, you want to remember that you need to change those. So like if you go to October, we didn't change this. If we would have changed this number, let's go back to September. If we would have changed that, see, let me change that and I'll show you what will happen. If I change that 250, then you come to October and it's going to change. And it's going to add it into all of these calculations. But we don't want that added in all the calculations. So we're going to leave the words in there. And if we go to October, we'll see that it's there, but it's not calculating anything. It's not adding it to our actual. It's not calculating anything into our budget. It's just words. And if you go to November, it's the same thing. And say you go to December and you go down to transportation, it's going to be the same thing, but in December, now we're doing this every 3 months, September, October, November, so yeah. In December, that's when we got to pay it. So that means we need to change this word to the number 250 and change this budget to 250. So you want to remember to do that on the months that it's due. All right. Whew, that was a lot. But that is how I do mine in order to remember these payments that are not every month payments, but yet they need to be added to your budget. Okay. I think that is really all there is on this one. So now that we've filled in some budget numbers, as another thing is like on these number of payments, say we get paid $75 2 times a month. You'll see that if you do put that 75, you put that 2, then it calculates your budget right here. But as far as over here, the spreadsheet doesn't know where you get paid that at. So you'll want to put those numbers in. So say, for instance, you get paid $75 here and $75 here. Then you'll want to manually put those in, and you'll have to do that for each month if it's like that. Now, if you do the X, it'll automatically calculate that for you. If you do a date, it'll automatically put that over here for you. But if you're doing something different than what the spreadsheet knows to do, then you'll have to enter those numbers in over here. All right. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Because once you get in some budget numbers, then you can kind of see what's going to happen for the rest of the year. So as you can see, we started out with $788.36. This is what we started out, plus all of our income, minus all of our expenses. And that's what it shows at the end of each week, is these amounts right here. So it shows you each week of the month, and if you have like a 4-week, then you'll see that the 4th and 5th week are the same. It keeps those the same on the 4-week months, and then on the 5-week months it does the difference. So this kind of shows you where you could possibly be in trouble. So let's say in November, here in the States, the day after Thanksgiving is a huge shopping day for us. It's Black Friday, huge shopping day. So let's say we decided to go out and spend $2,000 on Christmas. I'm trying to find my thing, sorry. Let's go up here to occasions, right here. See, Christmas. And let's say we planned, let's not say we did, let's say that we had planned on spending $2,000 for Christmas at Black Friday. So we're going to do that on the, what is the day after Christmas, or day after Thanksgiving? What is that date? Let's see. November, what is it, when is Thanksgiving? Is it 24th? Let's pretend it's 24th. I don't know for sure. But let's say Black Friday's on the 25th. So let's put the 25th here. Okay. So now let me go to December, because remember I told you earlier that I needed to get rid of the formulas for the occasion so it don't pull it. So we're going to get rid of that so it don't pull it. So don't worry about what I just done. I'm going to get rid of those formulas so you don't have to do that later on. All right, let's go back to year in review. All right, now you'll see if we were to spend $2,000 at Black Friday, it's going to put us short. It means we are $464.26 short, shy of being able to spend $2,000 at Black Friday. And you'll also see that if you go further, like in December, see where it says negative $828? That means we're even going further in debt there. So when I look at this, I'm looking at my biggest number. So I'm saying if I spend $2,000 at Black Friday, then I'm going to be short $828 the next month. So I need to do something about this. I need to be figuring out where to cut $900 or either don't spend $900 at Black Friday. So, this spreadsheet helps you make those type of decisions. So, another thing I want to point out is right now we're only doing the budgeting numbers. So, say you don't actually spend as much, or if you spend more and you know those actual numbers, they're going to cause these numbers to change. And you'll see in the next video when we start adding actual numbers in, then you'll start seeing this right here be more accurate and change, because this right here is just a reflection of what you're planning. And once you start actually spending, then this will give you a more better representation. But as of right now, you should be looking at this and saying, dang, I am going to be $828 short in December. I need to do something now if I want to spend $2,000 at Black Friday. So those are the kind of decisions that this will help you to make. And then if you go on down, you'll see in your, well, I'll show you more of this. I'll show you this in the next video, because these numbers are not going to be very accurate, because actual numbers are really your budget numbers until you put in your real numbers. And when you put in your real numbers, then that's when this is more representative of what you have going on. So as far as this video, we are done. This is the last thing I wanted to show you on this. Just this right here is great. This is one thing I really want to stress. I want to stress the importance of, verifying what you're spending each month and putting in your information correctly, because these budgets don't work if you don't put in your information correctly. I've tried my best to make it as simple as possible as far as it carrying forward your numbers and what you pay out and what you think you're going to get in. I tried to automate that as much as I can, so that you don't have to fill out as much, so that all you really have to do is kind of look over it. But it's up to you to verify those and to make sure that, if you have bills that are not monthly, if you have them every 3 months, then to make sure that those are in there every 3 months. You want to make sure that, I stress that strongly. You can tell I've made that mistake. I have done these budgets and then have a bill that's every 3 months and forgot about it, and then be completely stressed out whenever that time would come. So I'm really stressing it to you to make sure you verify those bills. You've just got to do it one time. You've just got to sit down with this one time and go through each month and look over your income and look over your bills and put those in. And you just want to try to get it as accurate as possible, so that this year in review, this is the best thing ever. I just love this. I love being able to look ahead and be able to tell if I'm going to be in trouble, and that way I can fix it and I can hit it head on and be prepared for it. So that's it for this video. I'm sorry it was longer than what I thought it was going to be, and my ramblings is keeping it longer even more. But so I'm going to go ahead and end it now and say we'll see you later. And I'll see you over in the next video, where we're going to put in our actual numbers and gives you a better representation of your cash flow. We'll see you there. Bye-bye.